You hear about people making it in real estate all the time, but you've been intimidated. You've psyched yourself out for no reason. This is Red Mike. To be a pro, you need to hear from the pros. And here they are, Damon Williamson and Trey Stewart.
Okay, here we are again with the Red Mike podcast, and today we have a second timer, I guess you'd call it, which is Melissa Platt.
Welcome,
Platt.
Thank you.
I'm very excited about this because last time we talked to you, you had
anything out of her.
Well, you had just finished filming. I think you were still doing interviews. So now we're going to ask you all the questions and get all the tea.
You can
you
answer
couldn't get out
because
last
you're
time.
not under the Netflix clause of don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah, I
happens.
can explain what happened
Yeah.
on the show, I guess,
Yep.
right?
So this time around is obviously a lot different because you have the success of the first season of Buying Beverly Hills. Did you feel like for the whole cast, there was a lot more pressure to make sure that it was good, if not better, than season one? Or did y'all come in knowing we got a lot of stuff going on, like, let's just see where this goes? Or did y'all feel that?
Well, yes, and we knew that with the second season, we had to not only work really hard, but be natural, because I think, obviously, we're not actors.
Right.
So the first season, you can see us all kind of struggle with, like, being our true selves, but also being in front of a camera. And then with the second season, I felt like we all came out shining, but we were ourselves at the end of the day. Is that your cell phone?
Every
Am I not
single
important to you,
single episode.
You know, it's one of those things that real estate's still happening.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So when did y'all film this?
So went into filming May 1st
Okay.
and wrapped end of July. But I still went back every month or so for pickups
Yeah.
or for a confessional scene.
Is this,
So-
isn't that kind of annoying, though, to have to, like, go back just to reshoot a scene?
Yeah, but, I have to go back as often as I can for clients and whatnot.
Mhm.
So it's like,
And hang out with your buddies.
yeah.
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 So
One thing I did notice about this season is there was a lot more storylines going on,
Exactly.
which I liked.
But I think
Yeah.
they were easier to follow than
Yeah.
the first season, in my opinion.
Well, I
you know?
agree, because the first season was kind of very, very isolated on, like, what was going on. And I think the first season, it was, like you said, kind of a trial of, like, what works, what didn't. And then they
Exactly.
went back and kind of, did some stuff. Obviously, Mauricio and Kyle's storyline was still pretty strong in this season and with everything that they had going on.
but y'all didn't have that until y'all were almost done filming too.
Exactly.
right.
That's exactly. It's for
Interesting.
sure what happened. Yeah. Because all of that kind of unraveled in the last month of film, right before Aspes.
I think it was like July 4th. It was like right around there when that all
Yeah.
came out.
So I remember that article dropping, and then people were like, "Are they? Aren't they?"
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And it's a lot of speculation, but I think they were trying to keep everything hush hush for the season 2 and also Real Housewives.
So to show how it overlapped too, when I was in LA, I went to the white party.
Yes.
Of
Okay.
Housewives of Beverly Hills. So that did overlap. They were still
Mhm.
filming, but that was clearly their finale. So that helps kind of timeline wise of their show that overlapped with
Mhm.
ours.
So starting kind of at the beginning of season 2, we hear more about the Mauricio Rick Hilton drama. And we've never heard it, I feel like, from either one of them. It's always been like Kyle and Kathy that share that. How do you feel like it's a big city, but a small town, and they're in the same industry. How do you feel like they come to common ground at some point in the relationship? Or are they just always going to be at odds?
There's still a lot of
Are you
animosity.
talking
Yeah.
about Rick and Mauricio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I really can't speak on that. What I'll say is exactly like Mauricio said in the show is he's never said a bad word about Rick Hilton or the company, because Hilton and Highland is a powerhouse in real estate.
Mhm.
And I know that Rick went off and he is not doing Hilton, I believe. But they'll do fantastic. And I think they truly want the best for each other. I don't know, obviously, I wasn't around then when he went off on his own, but they all get along from my understanding, and it just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think like the Zach thing, though, was kind of a little bit of a punch that they made a pretty aggressive offer to try to get Zach to come over.
We got to get
Yeah.
Zach on the podcast. He
I
needs
wanted
answer
to.
for that.
I honestly, I was thinking about, like, when they everybody's going down to that managing partners thing. I think it's in. You probably don't know, but you may know. It's I think it's like in 2 or 3 months. I was thinking about having Josh go out there with me and get a few podcasts while we're there. You know, everybody's going to be there. Zach and Grauman and, you know, the people that'd probably be good to chat with about some of this stuff.
Yeah, he can speak on that because he obviously knows more about that than I do.
Well, in the show, he was basically like pretty open about how it went down. And he's like, you know, they're giving me a piece of the company if I go over there. Like, it's going to be a big offer, I guess, in as far as dollar wise. But, you know, ultimately, I think they played it up a little bit more than they all. Like, reality versus the reality show is probably a little bit different. And it's hey, you know, it's a big decision for me, but I don't think he was going anywhere to begin with.
I know he's very happy where he is now.
Yeah.
And I tell Zach all the time, he's the missing puzzle piece we've needed, not only in the show, but at the company. I mean,
well, he's also like he fits in perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, so we went to the managing partners dinner back in a forum that night.
Mm-hmm.
He did this comedy skit for like the first 10 minutes. You were there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that was funny as hell. I mean,
yeah,
I was
funny.
really, really like legitimately laughing. Not the pity laugh.
And all the texts I get from my friends, they're like, he's the perfect addition.
He is.
He really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in episode 3, we see you represent a buyer that's trying to buy Paul Nassif's house.
Yes, the auction.
Yeah, which was wild.
Yeah, there was.
Are those mega auctions becoming more of a thing in LA?
Well, that was the first auction I've ever been involved in.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I mean, you saw me, I was a mess. Like, I broke the chair. I was like sweating. And the crazy thing too is, I don't know how the outside looking in looks at that episode, but that was the real time auction.
Yeah.
You know, like, so we were all kind of on edge. But yeah, I mean, these properties that these investors, well, Paul, I think he built it for himself. I'm not sure, but a lot of investors go in on these properties and they just sit, mega mansions. And the other one that I'm familiar with, it was actually Mauricio's listing on, was it Sarbonne? And I think that it was on the market for like 87 million. And I think at auction it sold for like 46.
That's usually what happens.
They stopped. Something happened.
Yeah, it feels like a great place to get a deal.
Well, it can be a deal, but, you know, most of the time what really happens in these auctions that I've seen, because they happen in Dallas all the time too, is that
that's how
they
it's
never
with that property.
Yeah, they never meet the reserve. So like people think they get a deal, but then the seller declines to execute a contract because it's too low. But the auction thing that you're talking about on the show, that's actually and I'm talking about this because I'm actually listing somebody's house right now, and they're moving to Australia, which is back their home country, where they just came to Dallas with, you know, the K1 visa or whatever.
Oh, wow.
To work, the work visa. And they said in Australia, it's all auctions. That's the only way they sell houses.
It's interesting though, because so I interviewed with Sotheby's for a property out here, and I guess the way they do it, again, don't mark my words, but it's something where the buyer will pay Sotheby's $250K if they end up buying it. But it's like a whole thing. Someone from Sotheby's moves out here for like, 3 months?
Yeah. Well, kind of. I mean, Sotheby's is obviously the one that started all this stuff, and then you get a bunch of kind of knockoffs and stuff.
You do hear them, but I don't think as much as you might think.
Yeah.
All right. One quick question, Trey, because I know he wants to get to his questions, which are all in this, if anybody wants to zoom in. And the pool jump situation, was that planned?
The pool jump?
Yeah. When you jumped in the pool.
What do you mean planned? No, he was in the pool, and I was like, I got to get in there.
I know, but was that like, here's what's about to happen, Melissa. You're about to jump in this pool fully clothed.
Perfect. I did not.
It really was.
That's why I was surprised you did it.
I got it done by this guy, Nick, who blows out like no one, oh my God, does. And I think I got it done that morning or something. I was like, my hair's never looked better. And then, but I was like, I want to be a fun girl. And like Adam saw it, I'm going to jump in the pool. That was not planned. My hair could have lasted for days.
No, but you jumped in and you came back out of the water and it was still perfect. It just like,
I noticed that too.
I was very impressed.
I actually thought, you know how like you see in the movies when like somebody's makeup gets wet and it's just like a disaster?
Yeah.
And then you popped up and you just moved your hair and I was like,
there you go.
Not bad, Melissa.
It couldn't have been better because not many people look good wet, you know?
Yeah.
You could have.
That's true. Like a wet dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have done one of those jumps where like it looks like you didn't really know what you were doing jumping in the pool. It looked graceful too.
Thank
I was
you.
like, there it is.
Yeah.
Marissa just did it.
Didn't do it
But I
live.
literally thought like the way it went, it may be was a planned situation
No,
that
it
Melissa
wasn't.
went
'Cause
through.
Like I said, if it was, I would have came with my hair not looking that good.
Yeah.
So you were very vocal about your thoughts on Brandon and Ben's
Yes.
argument this season, which
Oh yeah, I remember that too. Unfollow on Instagram. If
yeah.
anybody's not
And I
knowing
wanna
what we're talking
clear
about.
that part up. Instagram is so stupid, right?
thank
But
you.
there's just
Yes.
more behind that.
Okay.
That's why it was a storyline, because Brandon just felt like, okay, well, I'm a new agent at the agency. He's been there 2 years now, but thing is like when an older agent that you look up to unfollows you, it does show a message of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how he looked at it.
Did he
Instagram's so
say the reason
stupid.
why?
What?
Did he say the reason why on the show?
Yeah, he was like, I don't want to look at selfies and like stupid shit.
But you know what? I actually get that. Like, I think like what you fill your head with all day long is like,
But he could have muted him.
yeah,
But he knew
absolutely.
that afterwards,
Yeah.
Right?
So watching it back, do you feel the same way that you did on the show?
I do, because I feel like Brandon felt left out, and I
Mm-hmm.
never want Brandon to feel that way. And, our crew is very intimidating, right? Like we're all very close, and Brandon's newer to the crew, and he just felt left out. I don't
Yeah.
want him to feel like that. And Ben and I have had our differences too, but so funny. I, like for years, before we even started filming the show, I always felt like Ben like never looked in my direction. And I was there before he was, But now I fucking love him. Like he's one of my
Really?
best friends. He is so funny, so cool, and he really wants the best for everyone, kind of like Tyler said. And he's like the star of the show. I don't know if y'all realize that.
No, he definitely is. But why do you think he comes across as such an asshole?
Yeah. I agree
You
with
think
that.
he comes off as an asshole?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like it's also hard anytime a guy on a reality show gets in the drama, it typically doesn't work out in their favor. Sometimes it does. But I feel like with him, he looks like an asshole.
Women in the drama.
Sometimes it's hard. It's hard for a guy to get involved in it, not look petty or douchey and there are moments where I'm like, you know what? He's absolutely right. But there's sometimes you're like, you're kind of an asshole.
Yeah, and I think he would admit to that,
Yeah.
right? And probably looking back, he noticed that. Like the scene with Brandon and Ben at Forum upstairs
Mhm.
at the pool party, and Ben's like, I didn't say that. And it's like, he's like being serious. And I'm like, you did, like,
Yep.
But again, I think Ben realizes how it looks on TV that he was being a dick. And then he feels bad about that.
So we're now what? When did y'all wrap? Like, wasn't it October that y'all wrapped the filming?
July.
July is when y'all wrapped
Yeah,
filming?
and I would go back every month. Like, when did I film? I think the last confessional I filmed was in November.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I thought it was much more recent. So I think that this season versus the first season had much more depth. I think it was much more entertaining, in my opinion.
Night and day difference.
Yeah, I thought the first season was like it's everybody's first time, and it still was engaging. But like I said, I mean, the first season was a very consistent storyline with the younger agents in the office,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine. But you're not catering to just the younger crowd that's like really gonna look at that and be like, okay, well, yeah, I mean, I can relate. This is a wide range of people that I think really do want some different things going on. I mean, this one had that. And I thought Mauricio did a really good job trying to keep positive with what was going on with him and Kyle, because that obviously was affecting their family. Like the girls were all affected. You could see it, you could hear it. And then him and Kyle obviously were kind of cordial, but not, not like.
Well, you're speaking, the feedback you're saying now is what most of my friends said. They said the first season was good, but it was like just mostly focused on the young.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And this really shows it all. And like I said, I think it's a night and day difference, and we also had a whole new production team,
Yeah.
new showrunner, new executive producers. And we had one girl, Allie Gasparian, who was from the first season on the second. And like, I hope we never lose her because she knows this so well and she's a rock star. But Wheelhouse spoke, Netflix hired a whole new team, and I think they just blew it out of the water in the best way possible.
Okay, look up at the TV right now.
It just looks
Her right there.
Oh, Michelle?
She was the villain.
Yes.
She was the villain of the season.
Yes.
You were put in a much better light.
Yeah, you weren't the villain.
Yeah, I was.
I was not that like, it was hard-hitting villain activities last year, but like you weren't.
It was the villain part of it.
Yeah.
Flat was like nothing.
Yeah, like when Miami happens, I got a lot of texts and from my father being like, what's going on? Like, because it was hard watching the Kiki scene.
Uh-huh.
The girl's on me, but I was like, y'all wait, please. I'm not the villain. I stand up for myself, but there's someone else coming.
Yeah.
But it's not me.
And it's not
what
me.
she said about the girls, like if it would be a suicide if they took over the agency.
Suicide. Yeah, poor choice.
I was like, that's just. Hey, that wasn't a staged comment. I think Mauricio would have to be looking at that lady in a different light,
Yeah.
like from then on out.
Michelle is a hustler. Her work ethic is brilliant. She is, she's a powerhouse too. But yeah, poor choice of words. And
Well, especially you got to know, like, sorry, his daughters are going to be a part of this business and they will eventually take over the leadership roles at some point. And the other thing is, like, they kept on talking about Mauricio, like, stepping down, but he literally says, like, at one point,
I'm 50.
hey, I'm only like 53.
That was the best line. Yeah, you could going anywhere.
It's not like I need to be retired.
Yeah, exactly.
That cracked me up because I was saying that. I was sitting there watching it with Megan in the bed at night, like, every night we'd watch like an episode or two before bed. And I was like, why are they saying that Mauricio's, he's not like some feeble old man that's got to be pushed around in a wheelchair with a blanket on his lap.
Exactly. A good vision.
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like, I'm not going to say his name. We have a group text named it.
I do think what this season has that last season didn't, that really, I guess, completed the circle, though, was Kyle. Because the show talks so much about being a family, but I also want to see the family.
Yeah.
And so it kind of...
to see that.
Yeah, it really completed that. I think that she was a totally different character on this show than she is on Real Housewives. And it was nice because it brought a little more personality to it.
Yes.
And it did make it feel like more of that family unit.
Exactly. And you can see too, they're all so close.
Mm-hmm.
And like that lunch with Sophia, Alexia, and Farrah, they go through their high of highs and lows of lows together. They can be they're fucking hilarious too. Am I allowed to cuss on this thing? They're so funny. And
PG-rated podcast.
So funny is Portia.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like their sarcasm, like the way they speak, it's just like, I laugh all the time when I'm with them, but you get to see that, but then you also see they're real,
Yeah.
But yeah, Portia is, maybe Portia will get an internship or something at the agency.
Yeah.
And be the
She's
next
next. There's one more daughter.
Yeah.
All right, so I texted David this question last night as a joke, but then he really liked it, so I'm going to ask it.
Yeah.
Fuck, marry, kill. All right, so Adam, Ben, Zach.
Okay, so I would, being classy, Adam, marry Zach, and kill Ben.
Oh.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think Zach, for the marriage part, would keep you laughing every day.
Yeah, exactly. Or you want to punch her in the face. That's fine.
So where are you and Adam now?
We're married.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's actually at my place right now visiting.
He's like, hurry up with that podcast, babe.
No, we've gotten really close. I don't know if you saw that in Miami, at 11, we were talking for like 2 hours when everyone was like throwing money. And I really got to know him on a really deep level. And he shared a lot with me that I had no idea about and vice versa. And I just love the person he is. And he's a very calm, soft-spoken person and hot as hell.
So have like things progressed since filming Wrapped?
Have things progressed?
She's getting uncomfortable, Damon. I like this.
I think that, relationships can start from a friendship, and that's what we have right now. So we'll see.
Oh, yeah. Do you text him good morning?
Only good night.
Oh, that's a good answer.
Well, knowing what I know about Melissa, she probably doesn't wake up until noon, so it makes sense.
No, I wake up early. No, but really, Adam is a great guy, and we're close friends. And like I said, you never know.
What happened with Sonica? We got no closure.
No, we didn't.
Like, she was fired, but she was still there.
And she was like, no, I made some cold calls. I'm cool.
Is she still there? Because she's not on the website.
I know. Yeah. Oh, someone else told me that. Is she not?
No.
Just on the agency RE website, she's not.
She's not on there.
Interesting. I saw her 4 days before the premiere, and I overheard her talking with John and stuff about what she's doing now. But maybe I'll have her answer that if y'all want to send her a question.
But is she in the office?
No, I don't see her when I go in.
Mm-hmm.
And Sonica's beautiful. She's smart. She's nothing but sweet. But like, she just, sometimes just seems like uncomfortable. Like she doesn't want to be around us. So I'm like, which one is it?
That's fair.
I don't want to do real estate. She's an incredible singer.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember that in the first season. Yeah.
What?
Or there was the first season.
She was.
Yeah.
I think she made top something.
I remember her talking about it.
Yeah. But I think it was after her and Kevin broke up.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't know if she has that.
Oh, I remember that episode too.
Agency, which, again, I was always wanting to be closer, but we never got on that level. So.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has everybody gotten over your grade?
Yeah. Hopefully.
That you did for the.
In one of the episodes, I was like A+, but it's just.
Yeah.
I think with the first season, again, it's like we do all love each other. There was a little drama, but this year there was real drama, right? With, I shouldn't say drama. Well, I guess Ben and Brandon, but real family, life changes, for example, with Farrah.
Yeah.
And I think that they open the doors of the cameras to let them into their lives.
So Farrah's breakup with her, I guess, fiance. Did you see it coming? Was it something where kind of people knew? Because when you talked to her about it, you did seem like you were surprised.
She for a very long time, it's crazy. I almost sunk into the sofa. No, that was her
Birdie
person.
was literally sleeping on this couch for 2 hours earlier today.
Who?
Birdie.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
That's
She
so
came up
cute.
here and was watching TV, and she ends up falling asleep for 2 hours. It's a comfortable couch.
It
It
is.
is.
I can barely get Trey off of it and go sell houses.
Yeah. No, I mean, I thought they were each other's persons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I stick by this.
You thought that they were the right people for each other?
Yeah,
Okay.
Because I was living at her house and she was there every night for years. And I just saw how she was around him. She, was in love with him. But I think that they wanted different things at the end of the day. And,
Yeah.
But I still stand by this. I have nothing bad to say about him. He's an incredible person. He's smart.
Sometimes things just don't work.
Now I don't see them together. And I think that they had to go through what they went through to see that themselves.
I really feel for her too, because I feel like that relationship falling apart while watching her mom and Mauricio's relationship fall apart, that's just kind of a double blow. I feel like you handled that conversation really well, though.
Oh, thank you.
You did, yeah, you did.
Thank you.
It was
I'm
just
trying to have her see the light at the end of the tunnel, and she's still young. She has no kids.
Right.
And I believe this. I think she'll meet someone and get engaged in the next year.
Well, all the daughters are extremely attractive women. It's not like and they're on reality TV and they've got successful careers. I mean, possibilities are endless.
Exactly.
And you in the same token of that, like, we're kind of all talking up here at the office almost every day about why Melissa Platt doesn't have a boyfriend. That's kidding, of course.
And then we talked about Adam, and we were like, "What's wrong? What's he doing?
What's happening?
What?" So we did an email him. Yeah.
Yeah, Melissa's like about to walk out of here and text him and just say, "Look, something's gonna have to happen here."
Yeah.
I'm dead.
So obviously y'all filmed a lot, and not everything makes it on the show. What was something great that is
Good question.
currently sitting on the cutting room floor that you wish would have made the show?
So I'm very lucky in the sense that I only remember one scene that did not make it that I was in.
Wow.
I was really relieved with how much I made the show.
What was the scene?
Even though I'm there in LA every month and can spend 2 days to 2 weeks a month there, I moved my life there for 3 months.
Yeah.
And you take a huge risk doing that. And so I was relieved. There was a scene with me and Brandon. It was the night before Aspen. And we were just talking about how I wanted him to put himself more out there and hang out with the crew and all that stuff. And we were just talking about, like just being gossipers. And it was super fun, like the Joey stuff and all that, but it didn't make it. But that, from my memory, that's the only scene that didn't make it.
Wow.
Yeah, I did film more talking wise at Rustic Valley, Rustic Farms.
Is that the one?
Alexia, I like graded her and
Mhm.
walked her
Yeah.
out. That was stupid, so it's fine. But yeah, I know Farrah had a few scenes that didn't make it with her clients that she really wanted to, houses wise. But yeah, I got really lucky. I guess they liked me.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question. So, what we were talking about right before we started.
I'm gonna pause.
Okay.
Girls' night didn't make it. Which it was me, Tyler, Alexia, Sophia, Farrah, and we got so lit. I was in a black leather romper and I was crawling on the floor, and Sophia was whipping her hair back and forth, and we were wasted. And that did not make it.
That's a
I
shame.
should have made it.
Yeah, that should have made it.
I could have.
Sorry
I
about
could have
that.
definitely subbed a few scenes for that one in the show.
That was how our last
It should've
podcast
made it,
went.
but I'm happy it didn't.
Yeah, pretty much. That last the year anniversary podcast was a little bit of a shit show.
That's why we're not drinking this episode.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
we're
that's
supposed to. Still waiting on Megan to come in here and make her favorite drink, but she's dealing with the kid stuff.
It's okay.
Okay, I have a good question though, because the way that the show ended was, if it's not teeing up season 3, I don't know what is. But how soon do y'all? Two questions. How soon do y'all find out if it gets renewed? Like, how long did it take from the first season?
Well, that's hard, right? I'm hoping it's way shorter of a time period because the
'Cause it was
first
months,
season we
right?
came out in November,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and I think we got word that we were confirmed for a second season in end of March.
So it was about 6 months.
Yeah, but I think what I think happens is it'd be way faster this time around because you don't want to leave people hanging.
Mm-hmm.
But I know the first 10 days are crucial as far as viewings and everything go.
And it's been, I mean, it's
That's why I tell everyone to view.
You're still number 1 on Netflix.
Well, we're number 6.
well, yeah, but it
Not across the board. Really?
it got as low as 4.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
this part exactly, which is great. And I talked to our PR at Netflix yesterday, and he was like, "There's so much content out right now,
Mhm.
right? That's how it can get moved back, but we're still there is great."
Yeah.
Well, Netflix is pumping out stuff like constantly. I mean, I'm like,
Uh.
I'm always like doing the math in my head, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm paying $20 a month, times that by millions of people across America, but they're putting out like high quality A-list actor stuff now. So I'm like, where's the money? Where are they making this money?
Get renewed, I go back out there again this summer.
Yeah.
I think that would be it was great to film in the summer. Last time we filmed in the fall.
Yeah. Well, so second part of my question, which Trey is so excited to cut me off as usual, but the second part of this question is why Mauricio is considering the merger with the teams with Ben Block.
Well, I think he sees Ben's work ethic, and he makes over 100,000 calls a year. And I know that with the Umansky team, yeah, it's wild. With the Umansky team, they kill it the way they're doing business.
Right.
It mostly maybe is all referrals or repeat business. And maybe Ben can bring the advantage of reaching out to others that they wouldn't have reached out to in order
Yeah.
to gain even more. So that's how I would see the advantage of it. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
But did they talk about this? Because I thought it was maybe just, hey, let's give him a cliffhanger and nothing really happens with it. But were they talking about this previously?
Yes. I just don't know how much in depth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the other thing is I didn't see Santi much.
Santi, that's on him too, I think.
Yeah.
He's such a private guy. We love him to death, and he shows, how powerful he is of a business person. But he wants to keep his family life.
I think he's very
That's
smart
okay.
to pop in and pop out.
I agree.
What's
He's
keep him
great. We love him, and but that's his decision, not the show's.
Right.
Mhm.
And his white hair.
From Burning Man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's still in the show with white hair, and I'm kind of like, did he get struck by lightning and all of his hair turned white, or is this
It's a vibe.
Opened up Mi Casina in L.A. I remember that.
Oh, he should.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one in Highland Park Village is slay.
It's a parking nightmare.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
I park on Edmondson and walk.
Well, the whole HP Village is now just a disaster. Period. All day long. You can't get in. I mean, we went to Siddell's this morning for breakfast. Birdie had a one of those recitals for her class, and we go in and they sing a couple Texas songs, and afterwards they're like, you can take your kids and go for the day if you want. And Birdie's, of course, like, let's go. I want to go to the office. So we go to Siddell's and have breakfast. That breakfast was amazing.
It's
Never
so
had
good.
the breakfast there.
Have you been to the one in New York?
No.
Yeah, it's great.
But I was impressed, like legitimately impressed.
Bagel towers and stuff.
Yeah, but she got French toast, which is giant.
Oh yeah.
Ate like 3 bites.
It's also like a $300 breakfast.
It is.
Yeah.
It's more than IHOP.
Yeah.
Love IHOP.
So you've been in Dallas a lot more lately.
Yeah.
Is business here pick it up for you more than it is LA? Do you feel like just between the two markets?
From the show that I'll get more in LA this time,
Mm-hmm.
or people moving from LA to Dallas,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
vice versa.
Yep.
But yes, it's picking up a lot here, which is great and really exciting because when I did, make the decision to spend more than half my time in Dallas, I was like, real estate wise, it was tough. And now I feel like it's finally all coming together.
Yeah. So I thought it was a great season. I thought that everything that came through was a little bit more serious and a little bit more of a intense episode, and everything wasn't kind of just like focused on the kids.
And again, it just looked so much better. The quality.
Yeah, it did. And Mauricio, obviously, the guy has a million things going on, and for him to keep a happy face, it's got to be difficult. I mean,
Yeah.
he had a lot going on during that season.
But the thing I love too about Mo is like when he just needs to take a break, he'll go to Aspen. He'll ski.
Oh,
He'll go
that's
see
the other
his
thing.
friends, and
That Aspen house was amazing.
unbelievable.
I mean, I was like,
yeah, I just
wow.
went and stayed with Farrah over Valentine's Day weekend, the 15th, President's Day weekend, I should say. It's
So nice.
Mo came too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend about this the other day, though. I feel like for Mauricio, this probably doesn't feel as much like a job because he gets to do it with his daughters, and he gets to. It's not as taxing as selling real estate or doing
Yeah.
filming Real House of Beverly Hills.
every
Yeah, it's more of a passion project than a job.
Yeah, exactly.
for him.
The girls really seem like they have a good relationship with Mauricio. I mean,
They
it's
do, and an even stronger one now.
yeah,
They've all gotten so
Mhm.
close.
yeah.
So how has season 2 coming out been for you personally versus season 1?
I've got incredible feedback from people I've never met before to best friends to people I haven't seen in 20 years.
Less hating comments on social.
I think I've gotten one bad comment.
Isn't that wild?
Because last season I got a lot. And I was shocked.
Yeah.
But I think people see that, again, I stood up for myself, but I also admitted when I was wrong with Farrah, and talking about her relationship. So again, I think I show I'm truly myself, which is the best thing I could hope for.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we all know you, and we don't think that you're some kind of a little hating person.
No.
Yeah, she's not a monster.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Here today, Melissa's nice.
Yeah, so a nice gal. I promise.
Well, that's all I got. Trey, you got anything else?
No, I really enjoyed the show, and I really enjoyed getting to know you more and seeing this other side of you on the show. I think is nice, and people get to see what a great friend you are, what a great realtor you are. Yeah, so
Thank you.
we loved it. So what is going on in your life right now that we might see on a potential season 3?
I'm looking to buy a place in LA.
Oh,
Yeah, just so I'm there, a little bit more.
nice.
Yeah, so that's something you can look forward to.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for today, Melissa. Thank you so much.
I was
No.
nervous.
What's your Insta?
You're a
What's
pro
your-
now.
Melissa Platt _.
Melissa Platt _
Yep. Damon, what's yours?
Realtor Damon.
What's the agency's?
The agency.dallas.
Yep. And mine's Trey _Stewart. If you have not rated this podcast yet, rate us 5 stars or nothing because it really helps us. Melissa, have you rated this podcast?
I haven't and I will.
Okay, well, if you do, you get one of these free. I need a
This is you going to cross the entire house.
Yep. I wore this the other day at the mall, and 2 people tried to give me a hug, and I almost swung at the first person. So, because I was like, why are you coming at me?
Trey's always on edge.
I'm going to say that you're going to give us 5 stars. There's a t-shirt. If you want a t-shirt, rate us 5 stars, DM us a screenshot, and we will send you a shirt.
Thanks again. Talk
Thanks,
soon.
Melissa. Bye.
This has been the Red Mic. the weekly podcast where real estate meets reality. On this show, you'll get all the tools and hear from all the pros to set you up for successful real estate ventures. We hope you've enjoyed the show, and we hope you've gotten something from it. Make sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, you can find us at theagency.dallas, at Realtor Damon, and at Trey_Stewart. Catch you next time on the Red Mic.